Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show us how to prepare a payroll, a pension schedule using Microsoft Excel. In our last video, we covered how to prepare a payroll using Microsoft Excel, but in this video, we are going to look at how we can prepare a pension schedule using Microsoft Excel. Now, if you noticed in our last video, there's a column where we calculated pension, but that column is only reflecting the deduction for the employee. Now, this is what I mean. If you look at this schedule right here, you discover that the employee monthly contribution of pension is 8% of the basic housing and transport, but the employer's contribution to the pension of the employee is not reflected in the payroll. And the reason is because a payroll is just a list that contains the name of all the employee, their basic salary and allowances, as well as their deductions attributable to them. So it is only items or things that will affect the employee that is reflected in the payroll. So that is reflected in the payroll. So now we are going to now create another separate sheet for pension where the employer's contribution, like you can see here, and the employee contribution would be reflected. So let us get started. Please, if you have not watched the video on payroll, check the link in the description box of this video. You will see the link there, so go watch that video. And if you are new to this channel, you just need to subscribe, because I have a lot of valuable content to dish out relating with Microsoft Excel. So let us get started. Now, the first thing you need to do is to write out the name of your company. Let us say the name of the company is Bamilafta Nigeria Limited, all together. So Bamilafta Nigeria Limited. And what are we preparing? We are preparing a pension schedule. So for that, we return to the schedule for the month of October 2022. And what are the details that we're supposed to have there? We have the serial number, we have the first name, we have the serial number, we have the pension number, like you can see it here. Serial number, pension number, first name. So I will just copy all these items here. So Ctrl C, I will just copy it to save time, and we'll come here and then we'll say Ctrl Alt V. So we paste it as value and we'll say OK. So these are the things that are contained in a payroll schedule. So we have the serial number. Let me reduce this since the serial number is usually very small. Can we see? We have the pension number. The pension number, we can wrap the text. Can you see? The first name too, you can wrap the text. So we can just basically click on this row 3 and just wrap the text for everything. And wrap the text for everything. You don't worry. So we are also going to come here, just basic formatting, increase this one, increase this one too, increase it. Now you notice that it is not looking nice, so we are going to reduce the row height. So reduce the row height basically, and we still come here, can still increase this. We can bring this one down a little bit so that we can see it. I think it is looking okay right about now. So the next thing we are going to do is to we can decide to highlight everything and centralize. So let us centralize everything. So what I did again is that I highlighted it. You know how to highlight, left click and drag, and then you come here, come to this place where my cursor is. Can you see? Saying center, then we centralize. So we have centralized it like this. Then you bold it so that it will look more more nice. So now serial number, the pension number, the first name, the last name, the basic salary, the housing allowance, the transport allowance, the total BHT. This BHT means B stands for basic, the H stands for housing, the T stands for transport, and then we have employee contribution, which is in pension. Your employee contribution is your 8% of your total basic housing and transport. Now this 8% is the one that is reflected in the payroll, because it is only those items that will affect the payroll, you understand, that will be reflected in the payroll. That is why it's only 8% of. But the reason for this pension schedule is because of this employee contribution. Your employee contribution is not reflected in a typical payroll like that, so it is reflected in the pension schedule. So technically your pension is 18% of your total basic housing and transport. So your pension is basically 18% of BHT. That is what I want us to clarify. I want us to know. So your pension is what? 18% of your BHT. Now 8% will be reflected in the payroll because it affects the employee. That is 8%. It is deduct 8%. It is 8%. It is carried or borne by the what? By the employee. That is, it is the employee salary that they will deduct the 8% from, while the other 10% will be deducted from the profit or revenue of your employer or your institute. For example, in this organization, Pami Laughter, now let us say we have the name of the first person. Let's say we have the name of the first person as Ctrl C. You have the name of the first person as, then we'll come here and Ctrl Alt V. So we have the name of the first person as Alex Jato. So Alex Jato, they will be deducting 8% of Alex Jato total BHT. You understand? That is 8% will be borne by Alex, while the other 10% would be charged on Pamela After Nigeria Limited revenue. Do we understand? So pension is basically 18%. 8% is borne by the employee, that is the staff, while the other 10% is borne by the employer. So enough of the explanation. Let us just basically get into Excel. So I will just copy some details here. You know, to be very fast, let me just copy the names that we have here. Ctrl C, come here, and Ctrl Alt V. Then we paste the name. I just want to paste the names so we can see it right now. So this is the name. So this is the name. Then the numbers. 1. Just type 1 and type 2. I told us about flash fill the last time we discussed. So highlight this 1 and 2. Then left click, highlight this 1 and 2, then go to the edge of this place, then drag and leave it. Can you see it will fill by itself? 1 2 3 4 16. Now let me centralize this 1 to 16. So highlight it and come to this place. Can you see this place that says center? So we centralize it so that it looks more fine. So the pension number, let's work with assumption. Let's go back here and say, let's just copy this one that is here. Let's just copy it. Ctrl C. This is the pension number. Pension number makes Ctrl V. So the pension Ctrl V. So the pension number makes everything unique. Are we together? So because some employees can be having some employers can be having the same salary. Don't mind the figures. I don't know. The figures is the pension number. You can use any number. So this one is just an example. So the pension number, because some employee can have the same name. So what makes them unique is this pension number. Are we together? So you just can enter anything. You can enter 23400, you know, depending on the pension number assigned by the organization. So just to make each employee unique. All right, so that's we have the pension number, then we have the first name, the last name, basic salary. So what's the basic salary? I will just come here for the purpose of this illustration. I'll just copy this basic housing and transport. You know, depending on your organization, in some organization, instead of this housing allowance, they can have lesson allowance, but pension is basically your basic housing and transport. So that's why we have these three here. So you just come here, highlight this these figures here. Your own can be anything. So Ctrl C, and then we'll come here and we say Ctrl Alt V. So we just paste the values here. So you can put any number. Because of time, I just need to, and let me reduce the decimal places. I don't want the zeros to be there, but you can leave your zeros to be there. So these are the numbers. So I'll fill in all these cells. So the next thing is to enter the formulas. But before I enter the formula, let me bold this, and let me also bold this. All right, so let me increase this, increase it to like 26. I think 26 is okay. Then here, just increase it to like 14. I think 14 is okay. Let me still reduce this so that we can see. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now what I will do is that I want this Pamela after to be at the center. So what you do is that you highlight your cell. When you highlight it, you come to merge and center, you centralize it. So the same way, you highlight this, left click and drag, open now to highlight this the cell, and merge and center. Are we together? So we can let's reduce this one a bit. Let's make it to be italicized. So we can even increase this one more. We can still increase this one more. So this one we can increase it. Yes, so we can increase it. So now let us enter our formulas. What's the formula for total BHT? Total BHT is equals to the addition of these three. That is your basic, your housing, and transport. So for that, we are going to use the sum function, which is equals to SUM, open a bracket, click on here, and drag, left click and drag, and press enter. Can you see? To give you the answer. Or if you don't want to do that, let me show us a shortcut. Highlight this cell from here to here, then come to auto sum in your Excel. Come to auto sum and select sum. Can you see? To give you 200,000, you calculate. So once you have calculated for one, you can also calculate for the second one. Highlight it, come to your auto sum, and then click on sum to give you the answer. But that will be time wasting. Imagine you have over 200 employees. So what you just do is that you come here, click on here. Since Excel have calculated this one for us, we just come here and go to the edge of this box. When you go to the edge of this your Excel pointer, it will change to plus, then double tap on it, it will fill for the rest. Do we get it now? So that's how you can calculate your total BHT. Total BHT means total of your basic, housing, and transport. Are we together? So now the employee is 8% of your BHT. Like I said, I've discussed that in the payroll video, so you can go watch that video. I'll check the link in the description box. And also, if you need this template, I'm also going to put the link in the description box. Sorry, payroll schedule for the month. There's a typographical error here, MONTH, for the month of October 2022. So now 8% of your BHT is equals to 8. Look for your percentage on your keyboard, percent, then your asterisk. This thing means asterisk times this one. So 8% of our total BHT that we have calculated here. So you press enter. So once you get that, again, let me do it again, equals to, when you type any formula in Excel, start with equals to 8%, then shift and 8, you will see asterisk. Look for asterisk on your 8% times, then click on this one, then times H4. H4 is the cell containing total BHT, that is total basic, housing, and transport. Then you say enter. Then when you have calculated for one, you don't need to calculate for the other ones, but let me just show us how we did that. Equals to 8% equals to 8% times your asterisk. This is not the asterisk times, then you tap on this, just tap on it, and you say enter. So instead of us to be calculating everything one by one, you just come to your cell pointer, this green place, and go to the edge of the box and double tap to fill for the rest. So that's what makes it automatic. Now the employer contribution is 10%. Can we see? The employee will bear 8%, while the employer will bear 10%. So that's just the difference. Equals to, just like we calculated for this one, 10% shift your 8. If you are using your keyboard, you look for shift 8, or your own can be different depending on your keyboard setting. Just look for asterisk time, sorry about that, times your total BHT. This is your BHT, then you tap on here, 8% times H4. H4 is the cell containing, so enter. So you come here. Sorry, is it 8%? I'm sorry, 10%. 10%. So the same thing you do, equals to 10% shift times total BHT. You tap on it. Just go to the BHT and tap on it. Some people prefer to type it manually by saying H5, but me, I don't like that. Just come here and tap on it, enter. So instead of us to be calculating everything, come here, go to the edge of the cell, it will change to plus, then double tap on it. Now, what is my total monthly pension? So the total monthly pension attributable to Mr. Alex Jato, Vincent Ona, Busoyi Akimulegun, Pamilerin Alabi, Blessing Adeniyi, Emmanuel Adedugbe, Funmi Akimushere, Peace Linus. These are my friends. Anyways, so total is just equals to sum, open a bracket, click here and drag it here and press enter. That is the sum of employee contribution and employer's contribution. So, but if I want to use that shortcut I taught us just now, just click here, highlight it here, come to auto sum and press sum. It will calculate it for you. So there you have it. So once you come to this place, double tap on it, then you are filled for the rest. So we are done with that. Now let me come here and write total, 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 and then we can centralize it as well. And you bold your total, you bold it. So let me give it a border. I've taught us how to put a border. So highlight your data set, come to this place and say all border. Can we see it? Come to this place and say all border. So once I've done that, so can you see it now? It's looking fine, right? So the same way, if you want to sum this place, you can say equals to sum, open a bracket, click here and drag down to where you have Odo Fit. So you press enter. But if you also want to use that shortcut I taught us the other time, just come here, left click and drag it to the last cell, come to this auto sum and say sum. It will sum it for you. Let's try it again. Let's try for another one. So this is the sum of this. So can you see sum E14? So if you want to type it manually too, it's the same thing, equals to sum, open bracket, any which way we give you the answer, click on here and drag, left click and drag it down, enter. So let me show us how we can use that shortcut. Sorry, so click, left click and drag it down. Even drag the cell where you want to put the answer, that is this empty cell. Come to your auto sum and say sum. Now I don't want to be doing everything manually, so just click on anyone from here and go to the edge of this box. You see this plus sign, then and drag to fill it. So once you drag to fill it, the rest answer will show for you. Now let us format this thing properly. So I will highlight all these answers that are here and I will bold it. I will also like to bold this total monthly pension so that it can, stand out. So I will also bold this. I will also like to bold this total BHT so that it can stand out. Yeah, so I think it's looking fine. It's looking a little bit okay. So I will highlight here too and come here. Let me give it a blue so that we can see how exactly how I created that stuff that you are seeing there, so you won't think it's magic. Come here and change it to white so we can see it right now. So we come here to highlight, come to this our bucket and also select the white text color. So we can see it now. So that is that about that. So I believe we can. So that's just the formatting. So I believe we can see it right now. So let me also, I can increase this one, yeah, so that it looks more, more beautiful. So another thing I want to include is that double underline that we normally have in. So you highlight here, highlight the whole of this place, come here and look for, you know, the other time we use all border, but this time around you will use stop and double button underline, so that you can have this double underline beneath it. So you press it so that you can see it. So though it may not show because of this color, let me use another, permit me to use another color. Let me use a lighter color. I want to show you. Let me use this color, and let me use black. Let me also change this color. Let me leave it like this so you can see it now. So remember the color that we used. I light it. I use this top and double button border. So that is that about that. Your pension is 18%. 8% will be contributed by the employee, that is the staff, while the other 10% will be contributed by the employer. Please, if you are new to this channel, kindly please subscribe to this channel, and also if you need this template, I will put the link in the description box below. Just comment. Once I see your comment, I'll work on the link and I'll put it in the description box. Thank you for your time. My name remains Emmanuel. I'm an accountant, a data analyst, I'm a Microsoft Excel expert. See you in my next video. Thank you and God bless.